Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen. How have you been? Let me check. Yes, everything is working perfectly. You can see my desktop. Alright, perfect. How have you been? First of all, before we begin, as I said last time, thanks to the 13th subscriber of the YouTube channel from the bottom of my heart. Thanks to all of the followers of the Twitch channel as well as all of the subscribers of the YouTube channel. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for subscribing to the YouTube channel or following the Twitch channel. Right, just in case yesterday the person missed it. So I want to ensure everyone knows how, everyone who subscribes to the YouTube channel or follows the Twitch channel, I want to ensure they know how much I appreciate it. All right, all right. Day number 2 of leisure gameplay of Hellgate London 2038. Remember, we are playing the mod. Just as a reminder, we are not doing a 100% completion this time. We are not doing all of the side quests. I'm just playing it as I would normally on my own privately, just in case. This is the online version. I'm playing the engineer class. As you can see, I already have the Hell Rift ready to go. I've invested some points. I've been exploring the skill trees as I promised I would do. So here we'll have this guy accompanying us. Besides our usual drones, I more or less now have an idea of how I'm going to build the skill tree. I didn't look at any guides, I just read the skill tree description. That's how I like doing things. So this little guy here will help us kill the demons. We can have 2 bots and 1 drone. The only drone. So besides these 3 guys count as 1 bot. So I can still get another one, but my level is still too low. The idea of this walkthrough of London 2038 is to explore those things that we couldn't explore at during my gameplay, my complete gameplay of the vanilla version. Unmodded. So this one's modded, this has the London 2038 mod, this one's online, and it has everything you could ask for. So the idea is to go straight for Stonehenge. As you can see, I also have Beacon once again. Thanks to my gear, not because I invested any points. But it'll work. Beacon combined with these guys here dealing damage to the demons should be more than enough to beat them. You'll see what my strategy is. Alright, so they can kill the drone. They can kill the drone. I need to be careful, so I need to ensure it survives. As for the rest, yeah, as I said, the idea is to go straight for Stonehenge as well as Abyss, in case you wanna explore, let's say the traditional complete walkthrough that I did. You can watch my previous series of gameplays. I analyzed the game completely, 100%. I completed plus 200 side quests on the vanilla version. And now I'll go straight for... The idea is to go straight for Stonehenge and Abyss. Right, so... Those snipers are killing my pal here. There we go. I barely invested any points, just I think 1, and then yeah, some accuracy points at most. So yeah. let's focus our fire on that guy. Remember that snipers in this online version, they are much more accurate, as you can see, when compared to the vanilla version. Alright, so I have to respawn this guy several times. Okay. The class I'm playing is the engineer. It's similar to the sniper. It's a hybrid class because it's kind of like middle ground between the summoner, because I have some summons, as you can see, not as many as the summoner, and the marksman, which I am already familiar with. So we should be able to, I should be able to feel right at home with this class. I am feeling right at home so far, but with some needed upgrades because the marksman was extremely squishy, and I think this one, with all of these summons, it will somehow, hopefully, improve that formula a bit, right? So we'll have the damage of the marksman thanks to beacon. Anyways, I was using beacon all the time. And then the summons of the summoner, right? So good. So my idea is to, alright, the drone deals shocking damage. Good. And it can shock enemies, good. So I want to combine the concentrated damage of my weapon with this guy, so with this little drone here, and some other bots that I'm going to summon eventually, in order to deal high single target damage. That's pretty much the idea, while I'll use Napalm Strike to deal with mobs. Because this skill tree, the engineer's skill tree, does have an ability which actually decreases the cooldown of Napalm Strike. So once I get that one, my idea is to reduce the cooldown of the Napalm Strike, and once I do that, Demon Essence, okay. And once I do that, I'll be able to, on top of all of the single target damage, to spam Napalm Strike, which was pretty good during my gameplay. I just need to ensure they don't kill my guy here. Yeah, we are a hybrid between the summoner and the sniper. We don't have shield penetration yet, but well. Alright, they killed the drone. We create another one. Alright, I never thought they would target the drone so fast. But well, it's giving us the survivability we need, because see that they are targeting the drone instead of us. So instead of being us dying over there, it's our drone. This is exactly what I'm going for. This is basically the gameplay style of the summoner, but with a bit more of single target damage, which I feel much more comfortable with. I want to still have more control over single target damage. That's pretty much the idea. Alright, we need to kill the Diabolists first. Alright, they are focusing on killing my drone. That's the idea. They couldn't. They no longer have the DPS required. And I have 2 points on beacon thanks to my gear. Perfect. See, I promised I would fix my skill tree for these early levels, and I did. Blah 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 blah. As you know, we've already explored all of these slowly in my previous gameplay of the vanilla version. So, all right, I remember. Ah, yeah, I remember. Emperor Gold Car. There it is. But this time I'm prepared. Thanks to my drone. Damn, perhaps I should have chosen this class. Please try not to kill me. Thank you. Until I summon my drone, and there it is. This time we'll be able to take, I hope, this guy down. Or not. Oh, there's another one there. Well, stop spamming monsters. You can see that my drone is acting like the perfect tank. Alright, let's kill the mobs. It's just that they all look the same. Shit. Drone again. And yes, this is basically the play style of the gameplay style of the summoner. But with a bit more of single target DPS, which is what I'm trying to do. Alright, he's spawning more monsters. Anyways, I'm doing much better than when I played this as a sniper, though I'm getting killed here. Well, yes, way too many summons, and I have no more health injectors yet. But it was much better than my first try as a marksman. Yes. Also consider that I'm under-geared. And yes, also and also I think I didn't even mod my weapon. But yes, I am pretty pleased with this class so far. Ignite attack strength, shield penetration, but the shape doesn't. Let's see if I can get some mods. Shield overload, lack, fuel damage to beasts, blah 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 blah. 1 toxic damage, face attack strength. Maybe this one. And well, this one won't be of use. Yeah, running out of health injectors wasn't the best idea ever. Sorry, I knew I had to do something before beginning the stream, and I indeed thought about it. I remember to update the skill tree, but I forgot about buying more health injectors. Well, one cannot be perfect, people, but doesn't matter. Anyways, we survived a lot of time under that insane amount of pressure, so good. Ah, wait, let me summon the bots and the drone. There we go. Come with me. Hunter's friend MK3? What? Wasn't its name brandished or something? Look at that, he's killing them on his own. They grow up so fast. I love the fact that the artificial intelligence of your companions It's actually pretty good. The pathfinding as well. Well, here we go again. See, it was fast. Alright, where is that beast? They spawned a lot of these guys. Polyps. I remember when I did this the first time. An absolute disaster. Yeah, that drone definitely needs repairing. There's a talent which allows you to repair the drone. I was hesitant about picking it, but now I can see why it would somehow be needed. Where's that thing? I need to kill Emperor Golkar now. Where are you? Good. It deals more damage than what I thought. There's a tormentor here. There it is. Remember, the idea here is to level up as fast as we can, regardless of what happens. I'm just going for the story mode. So I can level up as fast as I can and go for Stonehenge, as well as Abyss content. That's pretty much the idea. Getting to Stonehenge and Abyss content as fast as I can. That's why I won't be doing side quests or anything of a lower level. I'll just... That could be faster. That's the only thing I don't like about the class. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a good trade-off. We need to kill Emperor Golkar. Where is he? Let me clear the field of battle a bit, because then I'll have to retreat and I'll stumble upon those guys and they'll kill me. Well, also he spawns a lot of statues. Dead and dead. So first let's kill the statues. This is pretty much inevitable. It was the, I think it was the biggest difficulty spike of the original game, of the vanilla game. Maybe except for Sidonai. Sidonai is brutal. Alright, so they can also get huge. Okay. Here we go. No, not me. You have to target him. I love that they target him before targeting me. It's like my own personal tank. Now, if there should be a shortcut to dismiss this guy, but I don't... Can I equip something to this guy? Not yet, but once I purchase a specific talent... Hey! That thing has a skill points! Wait a second, that thing has a skill points! Now that's crazy. That your summon has a skill points. No, but I was going to... So we do it like this, and we dismiss. So we can resummon it with more health. I wonder if there's a shortcut for doing that. Ah! How are you doing? How's it going, Emperor Golkar? No, I should try to kill this guy. Ah, that is Emperor Golkar. So what's the other guy? The other two guys, in fact. Run! There we go. Ah, they face! That's something new. Why are there two Emperor Golkars? This isn't part of the original game. This is because of the mod. Two Emperor Golkars. And here I was wondering What's wrong with this? I could have sworn Emperor Golkar was the other guy. Yeah. In this mod, there are two Emperor Golkars. Alright, then let me summon that thing. Let me summon that thing because it has a skill points. That's new. Inventory. Oh, don't know why everything went black. Where's that thing? Alright, you summon it, but it doesn't exist. It just lets you improve it. Alright. Okay, it works. So. Heavier armor and melee damage. Okay, so. Well, here I'll need to make a decision. Because my original idea was to go for this one, for Gun, Retro Lift, Tactical Drone, and this one, which adds a bit of it adds the shields. Med pack. This one heals me. This one would turn it into a hybrid tank and healer. So yeah. Spinning sword attack. So yeah. I originally wanted to go for this one, but I wonder if what happens if I choose these two. I wonder what happens if I choose these two. Will it deal melee damage as well as ranged damage, or I'll only be able to activate one skill? I think I'll only be able to activate one skill. Rank 2, rank 2. Yeah, rank 2. Thank you. Clearly that's needed. Here I already have 2 points on beacon, and here I already have this one. Here I have it pretty much. I have a pretty clear idea. I want to go for this, and this, but they are 3, so at the end of the day I'll have to choose one. However, this one I don't like, this explosive ghostly strike, because it detonates the bot. I don't want my bot to be a kind of like kamikaze. I want it to do continuous damage. So this one weakens their attack and will enhance my single target damage. This one will increase my. This is the skill I've been talking about. This one combined with Napalm Strike should reduce the cooldown so much that it will allow me to deal a lot of area of effect damage. I'll have this one combined with Napalm Strike here. So I can deal with mobs of enemies, and then the rest will be for single target damage. Right, so pretty much that's pretty much it. So yeah, Napalm Strike here, that we all know and love, combined with the Haste Bot, and then of course, well, I mean the Haste Bot is mandatory because it reduces the cooldown of all skills. So yeah. I don't know if I should go for this one or this one, because this one, I think I'll go for this one instead of this one. Call me crazy, but this one I don't like the second ability, and this one I also don't like it. Because they first of all they remove the shield penetration, which I don't like. See, this one removes the shield penetration and this one removes the shield penetration. So I think I'll go for these two and this one. This one is also explodes. So yeah, I'm going for this one. I'm going for this one, and then I'll replace the inhibitor bots with the haste bot. So I'll do those two. I'll combine the haste bot with the power of the napalm strike. And then here, I think I have to make a decision. If I'll use my drone as a tank or an extra gunner. Effect drone's accuracy increased by 8. Yeah, it's the accuracy. I mean, it doesn't increase the damage. The drone can be retrofitted with any gun. The drone's armament assumes the damage and effects of the added weapon. Alright, so, okay. Okay, I get it. Alright, so you can equip it. So now I need to equip my drone. The engineer's drone shifts to tactical fire mode because to cease movement in order to increase its rate of fire. Ah, well, here it does increase. Skill use. Does it have any skills? Increase defenses. If we are using it as a second glass cannon, the question is, do we want to go full glass cannon or glass cannon with a tank following him? Well, anyways, they target the drone before they target me. I mean, it does act like a tank regardless of everything. And as long as I have this repair ability, I'll be able to heal him and he'll be able to heal me like this. So we need to use these two, but the engineer repairs his drone using a little elbow grease, blah, blah, blah. He has drone for maximum health. So this one I can select it regardless of these two. I assume this isn't a different drone. So they aren't different drones. A melee weapon. Drone aggressive mode. This one is one I've been enhancing the movement of engage enemies more aggressively across larger distances. No, I'd rather have it being a bit more passive, being with me and using the gun. Alters the targeting and firing control. Yeah, but this is just accuracy. I don't care about accuracy a lot for now. I mean, I'll never be able to understand why it's extrinsic for the melee classes and intrinsic for the extrinsic for the ranged classes, but intrinsic for the melee classes. The base damage increase. Here you can see that I can increase the base damage of my melee class, but here you can see that it just increases critical damage and missile spread. So it doesn't increase your base damage or that of your drone for this in this case. So it's extrinsic. You rely on your weapon. Ranged classes rely much more on their weapon instead of their own base damage. So, through care manipulation of armatures and micro server motors, the engineer has altered the drone so they can wield a melee weapon. The drone's armament assumes the damage and effects of the other weapon. The thing is that if I increase the strength of the drone, it will actually, I think at the end of the day, deal more damage than with this. And it will act as a tank. Sayona, welcome to the Badlands. Thanks, Sayona. Your team's mod is amazing. and I said this yesterday. Congratulations to the backend developers of this project, because even with my third world country connection, it's not lagging. I mean, and the stream is also working, and yes, and I have no servers here, so it has to go to Brazil, and from Brazil to the rest of the world. So the code of this game is amazing. Told ya you should be good. Yeah. You were right. You were definitely right. Uh, I still have a bit of ping, but it's absolutely normal. It's perfectly playable. I was worried about the stream not being smooth, but it is. I could even stream at 1080p. Yesterday I did the test and it worked perfectly. Sayona, I have a question now that I have you here. Tell me, the Stonehenge content and the Abyss content, are they part of the base game? Because I'm confused at this point. Sorry, if you don't have time, don't worry about my question. But I wanted to know because um, I don't know if they're part of the base game because it was released so many times, or if you guys created it kind of like from the ground up. Yes and no. Well, now I'm even more confused. I'm even more confused. Well, who created the map and then who modified it? Because it's so weird. The game had so many releases: global, Tokyo. I think I even read about something about Australia or something like that. Like they did different expansions, and and it's so weird. The base game never had them. Okay, so Stonehenge and Abyss aren't part of the base game. They were available for testing in the Test Center version 4 patch, which is what we use for the mod. Test Center B4 patch. I wonder what that may be, but the base game never had it. So the disc, they weren't in the disc. That's the thing. They were available for testing, only for testing, so they weren't playable. Hmm. All right, so it's kind of like, to my knowledge, that was a public test server made by Flagship. But don't quote me. All right, yeah, okay. So it wasn't playable. Definitely, it wasn't part of the playable part of the game. That's for sure. It wasn't part of the kind of like the original. All right, so what you guys did is kind of like the restored content modification of Knights of the Old Republic 2, grabbing a part of the game that was being tested and developed and making it playable. It would be more or less like the restored content mod of Knights of the Old Republic 2. Kind of like, pretty much. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the same happened to Knights of the Old Republic 2. One of my second favorite game of all time, I always say. And yes, that was a pretty usual practice. This is something I didn't say during the analysis. This was a pretty usual practice back in the early 2000s. Kind of like creating more zones that by the time they released the game, some had to have to be they inevitably, almost all of the time, they have to be taken out. They kind of like create a huge map. They add more zones. Well, not a huge map because they weren't open world games back in the day. Semi-open world. They create more zones and then they cut once their release date. That was a pretty usual practice. They used to do that, to just cut and say, well, up until this point, the rest, it's included in the files. That's why a lot of older games have the files included, and that happens, but they don't make them playable. They leave them like testing. That also happened to a pretty famous example, the that is now playable. what was the name? The Stormy Ascent level in the first Crash Bandicoot for the PlayStation, just so the rest of the audience has a popular example in case you are watching this as a YouTube ball or something. Yes, that they created the level. It was way too difficult. They left it out, and then they incorporated it, fortunately, with the remaster. But yeah. So it's exactly like Knights of the Old Republic 2. It's kind of like it's like a restored content modification. Mm. It's like a restored content modification. So you cannot play Stonehenge on the vanilla version. Yeah, I realized that because I tried playing it, I tried accessing it, and it wasn't there. The Tokyo maps also weren't there. Maybe my bad, I don't know what I did, but I couldn't access them on that version. So yeah, it's like it's a restored content modification, so it actually wasn't playable. Yeah, I had that. I was wondering that for some days. Uh-huh. Yeah. I picked the engineer, as you can see, and uh, I'm liking it more than in marksman. I don't know which one of them is better for endgame, but I feel much more comfortable with this one. It's kind as as I see it, it's kind of like a hybrid between the summoner and the marksman. So I feel right at home with this because I've already tested it, and with these ones, I feel they'll ensure I'm not that squishy, at least for the time being. And yeah, my original idea was to grab this one, but no. Oh, I think I need a tank. Besides, I've this. This is amazing. Oh, where was it? Here. The fact that you can add skill points to the drone, I wasn't expecting that. I definitely wasn't expecting that. So, yeah. Pretty amazing. I think I'll go for a melee drone because I can add base damage to it. So, let's try that. My idea for this run is to go straight for the restored content that you just mentioned, to go straight for Stonehenge and Abyss as fast as I can, ignoring the story and the side quests and everything. Leveling up as fast as I can, and and uh, going for Stonehenge and Abyss as fast as possible. I want to explore that part because I've already seen it. Sayona, I'd advise against that, against having a melee drone, or against picking engineer as a whole. What is it terrible having a melee drone? You want to go full glass cannon when playing as this class, or is the class bad altogether? Better to know now than than have a lot of problems later. Skipping content will effectively cripple you. Skipping quests, especially side quests, the side quests, alright, makes you lose a ton of extra stat points you get as rewards. Furthermore, we added a lot of items to the game which offer a variety for builds. So the side quests in this version grant you stat points, and quests which will give you pretty solid. Sorry, it's the Here we go. Give me a second. Where is it? Where is it? Here. Wait. Now it will work. Da-da-da-da. I think it automatically adds the exception, so it shouldn't. Where is it? Where is it? Skipping content will effectively cripple you. Skipping quests, especially side quests, make you lose a ton of extra stat points that you get as rewards. So here you get stat points right from the beginning of the game. Furthermore, we added a lot of items which will give a variety of forebills and quests which give you pretty solid items for progression. So skipping those will fuck you up. I mean, I always backtrack. So farming is as mandatory as in the version I played previously. For different reasons. That's the only difference. Especially sword, AV bosses, story, or I know Stonehenge and Abyss bosses. Okay, Stonehenge and Abyss. Okay, but Stonehenge and Abyss do require you to go in prepared to a degree. Stonehenge Abyss. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And okay. 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 Hmm. So here you get stat points right from the beginning. Right. That's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. Okay, so it isn't just a matter of hitting level 30 and going for Abyss and Stonehenge content. Okay. Well, then I could farm a bit offline and then oh well, whatever. Let's farm. Let's just kill. Now, I was thinking about farming a bit offline, but so the stream is a bit more dynamic for any other person who may be watching, kind of like a general audience. But yeah, I mean, let's just farm and kill. Maybe I'm not doing every single side quest, but yeah, I get it. You need to be some levels above the dungeon you're doing, I assume as well. Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay. I almost forgot Sayona. I almost forgot. Here, I have something that I wanted to show you. I made a custom icon for the game like that. This is something I didn't showcase in the previous stream. I did a custom icon. I grabbed a lot of things, a lot of pictures, and I did a custom icon. I know it's an insignificant gift, but then I'll share it with you through Discord. Pretty good because you want the game to look good. I usually do this to online games that I preserve. I did for World of Warcraft, Lineage, Iron, and the rest. Uh, and yeah, I did it for this one. I combined a lot of pictures. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, then I'll share it with you through Discord. I usually keep this kind of like exclusive for my collections, but in this case, it's a pretty special game that I know you love a lot. So I'll share it. It took me some hours to do it. I know most people also love rounded corners instead of those squares, but well, I like them like this. And yeah, pretty much. It took me some hours, but it looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. Uh, all right. So okay. So idea here is to play just like I played it originally.
Excuse me?
Okay. Though I wasn't that far from killing Golkar. First let's kill Golkar. Let's see if I can kill him like this. And well, if I eventually can't, I'll get to farming. But first, I want to kill him again. I don't know. That guy just gets me on my nerves. Besides, straight away. Yeah, using an unmodded weapon is also not helping. But yeah, I don't have anything. Let's try again. Then we can prepare if it doesn't work. I wasn't that. I wasn't that. Uh, oops. I wasn't that bad at the damage output I was doing. It was pretty close. Also, I like that the drone here changes the name every time it's resummoned. This rack. For oh yeah, I forgot about the other guys. Ah, this guy. Yep. Hey, why isn't he using the blade? Because he doesn't have any equipped, probably. Okay. Huh? Look at that. Well, then let's equip a blade to this guy. I think I exactly just looted one. Lucky me. So, I wonder if there's a shortcut to... How do I equip the blade to this guy? Here. Pretty... Hey, it does work. Let's give him some more strength. So this one should be like HK47. I love how I ended up replicating the usual team I use for Knights of the Republic 2. Oh, nice. What the... He grabs the sword like that. Pretty good. Looks threatening. I wouldn't get close to someone who looked like that. I ended up replicating the team, my usual team for Knights of the Republic with HK47. Alright. Nice animation. Also, I remember I was constantly complaining when I played Marksman on the in the vanilla version that there wasn't a companion system. Well, the game did have it, but it was exclusive to some classes, as I can see. I should get escape as soon as I can. That should give me the advantage I'm lacking. But I think it's at level 10. No, even worse, 15. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can beat them like this. First, let's miss. And resummon. Okay. Hey! Well, at least the shield is depleted. For now, I think we'll be able to beat this guy. I just want to ensure this guy is attacking them. Okay. Hey, where did you go? This way. Here. Yes, this should be enough for now. As tempted as I would feel to say easy, it wasn't. Because I think that's not the only one that spawned. There were some others. That one. I love that you guys that your team Sayona duplicated the Emperor Golkar spawn. Now we have to face two of them. Pretty clever way of boosting this guy. Look at that drone there. Why isn't this guy targeting my drone? Come on, target my drone. Not me. Wow. Ah, because it's dead. Okay. That I am beginning to think this one hits harder than the other one. Because it was. Another one. 3 of them. Yeah. Okay. Let's disengage. Let's. Oh. Well, whatever. Da 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 da.
To uncover nonsense is frustrating. To know.
Would you believe, Sayona, that the intro of this game still has copyright from Electronic Arts? I couldn't upload the intro. Yes, these videos, yes, but the intro... The intro is copyrighted by Electronic Arts. Just as an unknown detail, it has a lot of copyrights. Looks like EA wants to profit from the game's intro, but not the game itself. Oh, alright. They disappeared, so let's farm. Yeah, the... What's... Wait, where's the blade? Where's the blade? I don't see it. What happened? Maybe I summoned it. Ah, it's there. Oh, good. But it's using its electricity attack? No, it's being targeted by the Orville. Here, let me resummon this guy. Wait, I need to resummon my drone. Maybe... I don't know. Let's see if it attacks them. Yeah, it's definitely attacking them. I'm not dealing that damage. It killed it. Good. Yeah, the blade is working. It's just the animation. okay. He's dealing the damage. Okay. Let's... Alright, now I can use the portals because they do work. Ah, no, it's different. It's like a drill. It's like some kind of drill now. I think I saw it. Well, doesn't matter. Ah, there it is. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Important thing is that it's dealing the damage. Okay. Minion health. Well, I assume my drones do count as minion. Finally, I'll be able to use all of this cool stuff that during my previous walkthrough, I always saw boost for the minion, boost for the minion, and it wasn't for me. 85 and plus 2 points on inhibitor bots. And I'm lacking accuracy, of course, because I didn't spend any points. And I shouldn't have sold that here. I meant to identify it. Alright, I have no analyzers. Evoker Summoner. Out. This one may be useful a bit later. Let me see. No. Well, I know, but this one has increases physical damage and beacon too. Yeah, no, I'm not changing that for now. Besides, I can add the ignite attack strength. Okay, no, we're good, we're good. I'm just a bit behind in terms of gearing up. Nothing to worry about for now. Let's see. Let's do that. 2 straight batteries and a CAG. I have none of those. I need analyzers. Then analyzer. Where is it here? One of the best things is that here. Hey, here I have. I know, but it was a CAG. Yeah, no. Minion health. Yeah, I've been a bit unlucky regarding this. So let's sell those. Yeah, I've been a bit unlucky with my loot so far. That'll eventually change. What? Item level 14 requires character level 9. Okay. Good. No. Equip them. Come on. There we go. Alright, well. I'd feel a bit more comfortable with at least a belt. Not a lot of difference, but better than what I have in these early levels. Those will make a difference. So we're selling this, we're selling this, we're selling this, and we'll keep this. Okay. Alright, so truth spoken, congratulations, end of Act 1. Okay, so they're supposed to give me stat points. Oh, let's see. Bloom's Fury. I'll try to grab the higher level ones, so... Lower Kingsway is yours. Lower Kingsway is yours. I remember this guy. I remember that guy. I think When I was about to kill that guy, that's exactly when when we first meet Sayona. When I was trying to kill that guy that wouldn't die because I needed that item. I remember this guy. So, upper and lower Kingsway Shores. Yeah, yesterday I was a bit lost here. Subscriber only. This must have been part of the online section or something, I don't know. Hey, so expensive. Of course, they are level 17. Spirited ammo. Well,
Okay, goodbye.
okay. Alright, let's try that. Yeah, I've already been taking a look. I've already been taking a look at Stonehenge and Abyss. And yes, they were pretty tough. When I had this one's randomized, it's different. I've been already taking a look at those, and yeah, they are incredible. Besides, they make the game endlessly replayable because they have the daily quests. Oh, also almost forgot. I managed to save my character, my previous character, kind of like in a separate version. At the end, I showcased it yesterday. It was... Well, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah. So I'll get some practice offline, so I at least know what I'm going up against. Uh with Stonehenge and Abyss. At least on elite mode. I found Sion, I don't know if you knew about this one. There's a mod you must know because I found it on some forums about Hellgate London. There's a mod which allows you to kind of like play, kind of like in, like kind of like Diablo 2, kind of like with all of the restored content that you guys did, but I could use my offline character, so it helped me to save my character. It helped me, and I could save my character, and with that offline part, I can somehow practice Stonehenge and Abyss for this one. I said if I had to preserve a version of this game, it was going to be the most complete one, and that's exactly this one. So I'll at least be able to practice offline Stonehenge and Abyss before I get killed here. I'll be able to practice. Blind Eye. What are these? Level 4. Well, at least they're giving me experience. Big Ben. This is the guy. Hey, I forgot about my other drones. No, the bots drones. I have the... Oops. Ah! I don't remember killing this one in the previous run. Hmm. Good. Now that's a tank. That's a good tank. So many legendaries. Alright, yeah, I can see that also. I commented this yesterday. The drop rate and the economy are totally different. Yeah. Unidentified Big Ben's transmogrified arquebus. However, it's for the summoner and the evoker. Ah, but this one could be useful for the drone. Well, now I have two legendary swords. Yeah, but well, at least if I use this bot as a tank, it won't look as cool as having that ray of lightning, but it'll be all of the loot that I grab, or at least most of it, will be uh I'll be able to assign it a role in this build. Fast attack rate, toxic direct adds 3% damage, blah, 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 blah. Decreases power cost of swordsmanship skills. No, that's for the class. 78, 78. They're pretty much this. They're the same. It dropped 2. Ah, right, for the Blade Master. It must be for the Blade Master. Alright. Yes, perfect. So, let me check your inventory. Requires Guardian Blade Master. Oh. No, it must have to do with the strength. 5. Yeah. I know, 16. No. This one also requires Guardian and Blade Master. Item level 3. It could be the level. Yeah, it's the level. It's the level. Yes, the level. Yes. Yep. Yeah. The level. Alright, so we'll do this. We'll keep those swords in the cube. One of them. Just in case I'm so unlucky that I don't loot any other better sword up until level 12. So we'll do that. Alright, so... Okay, if I need to do most of the side quests, because otherwise my build and my skill tree will be fucked up, I'll try to go, not all of them, but at least the ones that are faster. I mean, if it tells me to, I'm not doing. I remember that guy broker. That one, I'm definitely not doing it. The 9 side quests of Doom that I had to turn in the quest in the middle of a dungeon. That broker guy. It took me a day completing that. That's the one side quest I clearly want to. Brokers, I labeled them Brokers 9 side quests of Doom. That was a pretty painful stream. I remember that. I got killed so many times, but not because of difficulty, because I was already way too tired. Our broker line gives you a backpack at the end. More storage space for one. Yeah, I get it. But is he still in the middle of 2 dungeons when you turn in the quest? Because that one was way too much. Yeah. Because it's kind of like being in the middle of Tristram Cathedral in Diablo 1 for to turn in the quest. But it's worth it, yeah, without a doubt, because it was the most painful quest. I don't know, Sayona, if you happen to watch my stream of that guy, it's painful. And the worst part, you know what it is? You know what the best part, the worst part of it is? That it's the only stream over at YouTube that almost 250 people watched. I mean, people watched that stream exclusively because they enjoyed watching me suffer. Uh, I don't know what that stream had, but it was so painful. The broker side quest line, when I encountered that, fortunately you weren't watching when I encountered that. I I began I began insulting the guy. At some point, it was 9 side quests, and and I would get killed right when I had to turn in the side quest, and it was an absolute disaster. I labeled that the 9 side quests of Doom because of how much I suffered. I think it was worse than Sidonai, and I died several times with Sidonai, but that one I think it was the worst. So it gives you a backpack, an extra backpack. Yeah, so so you can expand the storage. Interesting. So you can expand the storage, but yeah, that one is painful. That one is painful. I suffered that one so much, so much. But well, I wonder if this will grant me stat points. Wait, let me check. Or a skill. Uh, are there some side quests that actually grant you, instead of stat points, skill points? No, that would be way too much, I assume. That would be way too much. But if I find any of those, I'll try to do those. Oh well. So we have 25. Let's see. Because in the... Nah, skills are from levels. Attributes are from quests. Ah, well. Yeah. It would have been way too much, right? It would have been way too easy. It would have made the characters way too OP. Yeah. Balance purposes. Yeah. So stat points. This is something I mentioned during the analysis. These games uh, stat system is probably, but you do have gear which gives you extra points to specific skills. Yes, this is something that I've mentioned. Extremely interesting. In this game, melee classes have an intrinsic. They have an intrinsic stat point system, but ranged classes have an extrinsic class point system. It's extremely unusual to find a game in which melee class, which uses a hybrid stat point system, because it's different for ranged and melee classes. I mean, you can increase the base damage of a melee character, but you cannot increase the base damage of a ranged character. That's I think it's unique to this game, because usually they go for completely extrinsic, regardless of the class, increasing base ranged damage as well as melee damage, or completely intrinsic. Examples of completely extrinsic: mm, Monster Hunter. That's why I hate that game. Completely extrinsic. And yeah, that's the... I think that's the most prominent example. And intrinsic, most Western RPGs. Uh, but yeah, I know it wasn't this one. Steven, here we go. But yeah, it's I mentioned this during the analysis. It's extremely weird to find a game which uses a hybrid stat point system, one for melee classes and one for ranged classes.
Yes.
Uh, because at the end of the day, it works like that. While you can increase the critical chance, you cannot increase the base damage. So at the end of the day, it's mostly extrinsic. You rely much more on your ranged weapon than your base stats with the ranged class. It's something unique. It's a phenomenon that is unique to this game, as far as I can tell. I'm trying to think about any other game which works like this with a hybrid stat point system, but I can't think of any. As clear examples, as I've said, Monster Hunter for extrinsic. I think that you cannot even spend points on stats there. Uh, but yeah, Borderlands could be considered extrinsic, precisely. Destiny, that's why they have the emphasis on looting. And intrinsic, pretty much everything. Dragon Age Origins, which is one of my favorites, because it's just like playing Knights of the Old Republic. The first one, Dragon Age Origins, pretty amazing. One of the best. I would place Dragon Age Origins, uh, right after Knights of the Old Republic. I like that that I always go for the same type of game for my top games. But yeah. No, but I would actually include Total War and StarCraft and Age of Empires as well. Those, yeah. My top games would be a combination of real-time strategy, real-time tactics, and classic Western RPGs, probably all from BioWare. So yeah. Blizzard strategy and BioWare RPG. But yeah, it's pretty unique that this game combines Monster Hunter, Borderlands, Destiny's extrinsic stat point system with no British Museum. No, we're done with Western RPG intrinsic stat point system that you can increase the base damage. You could even argue that it's even hybrid for the ranged classes because it somehow increases the critical chance. But you know, I clearly see a difference because yeah, it doesn't have a direct impact on your base damage. I would classify that as extrinsic.
Welcome.
It has a much bigger influence, at least in the grand scale of things. Beastly.
Excuse me?
I think I'm not using any trousers here. Yeah, I'm using the ones I started with. Yeah. These ones no, but well, they suck. 1% chance to cause a fire nova. And also another thing that I forgot. Because I saw a lot of changes. The text, I believe ultra textures or very high textures on the base game are broken. I realized that they are broken because I tried the Napalm Strike on Stonehenge with the on the offline version with the marksman, with my previous marksman, and I showcased it yesterday. the fire was totally different. I think it was retextured. I don't know if your team did it, Sayona. If you guys retextured the fire yourselves, or it's just that the ultra textures in the base version are broken. I am inclined to think the second, yeah, the second option. The yeah, to think it's the second option. Mm, I think the ultra textures in the base game are broken. If you compare the fire of my previous playthrough and this one, you'll see that here it's much more detailed on the Napalm Strike and also the Fire Nova. At least the fire. Also the shield animations were broken, now I realize it. The impact animations that I talked so much about when I analyzed the game, they were also broken at some points. What else? What else? What else? There were more broken textures on the vanilla version. The impact animations, the fire, well, I guess we'll realize once I could grab a sniper rifle with spectral damage or something like that and try the animation here to see if it's different. Electricity. Yes, out of the things that I've noticed, I'd say I didn't check if I got an extra skill point, an extra talent point, stat point. 26, but please stop. Thanks. Yeah, 27 too. Probably because I completed the other quest. Yeah. All right, so they give you stat points right at the beginning. So I assume at the end of the game, by the time I reach the end game, Stonehenge and Abyss, I will. Yeah, you end up having more health or willpower or whatever. In the case of this, yeah, that's a pretty clever way to fix the unbalanced squishiness of ranged characters. But anyways, yeah, because if you spend more stat points on accuracy, you're increasing the critical chance, so somehow you are making the character indirectly less squishy by dealing more damage, so it can kill them faster before the character gets killed. So yeah. Covent Garden. No, Steam Tunnels. I got it wrong. My bad. Well, anyways, everything is farming. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that here we are going for leveling up as fast as we can. Well, now I know that I also need to get some stat points, but we have to reach those too, so we can. I need to get to a point in which I can farm over there. Somehow. Even if I get killed a bit, I need to get to a point in which I can farm Abyss and Stonehenge, so I'm not going to go kill Sidonai again. I'll try to go for those, which are I've already seen them, and they are the most special part of the game. At least I liked the ambience. Shogata, good. We got our first Kag here. That'll be useful. 1% spectral damage. Blah, blah, blah. Hit points, minion health. Thanks. Looks like the vendor was thinking about me. Uh, Finally we can get a best. A decent torso armor, shields +3, 11 armor, blah 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 blah. I want to get the drone that replenishes the shield because so far during the previous walkthrough, uh, I tried to invest more on armor rather than shields because shields could be depleted, but armor is forever. However, here, if I'm able to replenish it, well, now maybe I can go for a high base armor, and then what's this? Shoulder armor. I think I have nothing as shoulder armor.
Off you
I
go
think I
then.
have nothing. Nothing at all. Oh yeah, I have something. Yeah, I had something. Oh. Not a lot of difference. And yes, this one, please. I was having a hard time with
We
those.
men pay full price, you know. And all sales.
And this should be more than enough. An extra 22 attack at this low level should make a lot of difference. I can't get rid of this because it has a lot of insane stats, so yeah. Okay, Steven, where are you? Here. Recruit belt. Alright, I think we are good for now. Right, let's grab.
Boy, you best courage under fire.
Okay. Then if I'm lacking stat points, I can always backtrack and complete these even faster. So let's get to Charing Cross Station. I've been missing that place. Anyways, we'll be able to farm. It's a 3-level gauntlet. We have 3 dungeons, one inside of the other. Leicester Square, St. Martin's, and Charing Cross Approach. Yeah, it's a gauntlet. Covent Garden Steam Tunnel. Oh wait, we have some more here. St. Martin's, Proto Detectors, Covent Garden, Steam Tunnels. So yeah, we'll abandon these steam tunnels. I remember this guy. He's the one I have to use the. I remember. Wasn't this the guy that I had to use the? Yes, that I had to use the item on. Maybe it just had the same name. Right, Covent Garden Steam Tunnels. All right, let's try that. Yeah, I want to see if. No, maybe it had a different name. Ah, well, there's Leicester Square, so this must be a high level dungeon for mine. What am I? I'm level 8. Ah no, they are level 4. Alright, I know this is a different one. I remember. I remember. Yeah. Jagger Droid 4.0. I love it when it changes the name. Kind of like you have a lot of drones at your disposal. It's a good way to add dynamism to the gameplay mechanics. I mean, not to the gameplay mechanics, to the variety of to the environment variety, changing the name of a droid, those things. Ah, there it is. Yeah, I remember this guy. No, this was a. Yeah, he was exactly like the one I got stuck at, but. I love how they drone deals damage with that animation. It's like that program from the early 2000s that I remember watching. I forgot about the beacon. What was it called? There was even a video game about it. It was from the early, no, not even the early 2000s. It was from the 90s. Um, what was it called? BattleBots. BattleBots. Yeah, I remember. BattleBots from the 90s. I remember that show. Damn. That was kind of like futuristic. Watching that back in the 90s. Watching BattleBots. I used to watch that program, that show. Sorry, that show as a kid. Sorry, it's just that okay. In Spanish, it's actually called program. No, it's the show. Uh, I remember watching that show as a kid. Probably I shouldn't have watched that show as a kid because it wasn't meant for kids. But well, there wasn't blood as a positive thing. There wasn't blood. There were even video games about that craze that lasted for some years. Because it was a craze. It was something extremely temporary, but I remember it. That there were even mm, several shows that tried to copy BattleBots, but that one was kind of like the original. It was basically robots from the 90s and then the early 2000s because it had different seasons, I believe, that they would kill each other, controlled by programmers. Yes, yes, yes. Back in the 90s, it was futuristic. Everything looked. Now that I think of it, everything looked futuristic back in the 90s. I mean, turning on a GameCube, an original Xbox, or a PlayStation 2, it looked futuristic. Well, those were from the early 2000s, but they looked futuristic. And on top of that, the menus, this is something that we've actually not improved upon. I mean, not us, the gaming industry.
Always a pleasure.
The menus looked futuristic during the sixth generation, at least. During the sixth generation, at least, they looked futuristic. And I remember watching the only, pretty much the only footage we had of of kind of like not shopping stampedes, but people actually forming a line to buy a console, kind of like massively on a massive scale. It's footage from the US, of course, and it's amazing. I usually rewatch those because you can. It's difficult to explain, but you can feel the happiness in the ambience when you rewatch those. For example, I usually watch the launch of the first Xbox, for example, and that was an amazing time because I remember that not only the Xbox, but that's the one we have more footage about because, as I've said, most of the footage was coming from the US. And watching that from here, from South America, and probably the rest of the world, it wasn't something exclusive to South America because back in the early 2000s, uh, there wasn't such a huge technological gap. It wasn't that bad. wasn't that bad for most, at least for Buenos Aires, where I live, for Fairwinds City. Um, it wasn't that much. It wasn't that much. But I remember watching that footage, and it was unreal. It was unreal. Uh, Looking at Bill Gates signing the Xbox, the Xboxes there, and the E3 with The Rock and everything, and pretty special time, pretty special time. But the menus of those consoles look futuristic. I think regarding that, we've gone actually backwards. The menus nowadays try to look sleek instead of futuristic. They want to look sleek, elegant, simplistic, minimalist. I just hope that this trend goes away because I honestly don't like it. I'd rather have futuristic, wacky menus with a lot of elements rather than sleek ones. They feel kind of like uninspired. And yes, that's actually one of the things that I've discussed a lot of times with friends, and yes, definitely. It's the minimalistic trend. Especially, and that's why, so the future looked better in the past. Gotcha. Yes, Iona. Yes, exactly. You clearly understand me because of that phrase. Yes, it looked much better. But a lot of people think it's nostalgia, and I don't think so. Because um, if we compare the menus, the right nowadays they have a lot of services. I mean, you can purchase a game from your console. You don't even need to buy the disc. Yes, yes, it has objectively advanced. But regarding the design, they are clearly going for a minimalistic look, sleek. I mean, there was aesthetic to it. Yes, but nowadays, yes, 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 exactly, exactly. Back in the day, yes, yes, yes. Nowadays, this minimalistic trend kind of like invaded everything. I don't know why. uh, it's every menu has to be minimalistic. Few user interface elements. Hell, even when I was learning how to program the front end, kind of like a website, they would tell me minimalistic, few elements, uh, clear and few elements, so an 80-year-old person can understand it. Basically, that's the philosophy behind modern design, as in my experience, according to what I've been told to do. But the consoles, yes, 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 definitely the future look much better, even more in the past, even more from here. Maybe in the U.S. the problem is that you don't realize maybe how futuristic it looked for the rest of the world, the U.S. or Canada or Europe, but how futuristic it looked for the rest of the world. For the rest of the world, it certainly wasn't. It certainly wasn't nostalgia. It felt totally different. I remember I was up until that point, my console was, well, my case was extremely weird, extremely special because of personal circumstances. Because my console was a PC with Windows 98 um, exclusive for me, which was extremely expensive back then. Um, Having that and of course a Game Boy Color, which I still have. But going from a Game Boy Color to that was brutal. But they looked much better. The aesthetics. I mean, there was aesthetic, yes, but generally the aesthetics. Also, regarding the second point you made, the aesthetics. They all were they were all going for something similar. That futuristic design was amazing. Um, as I've said, I don't think it's nostalgia. Most people think it's nostalgia when you say something like this, but I don't think it is. There's an objective aesthetic. There was an objective, and there is an objective aesthetic to it. Uh, Nowadays they go for that sleek design, and back then they went for that futuristic look. Um, it was a different philosophy. Uh, Not that I am just criticizing the modern one, but clearly it has less user interface elements. And if it has less user interface elements, there's less work behind it. It's a deduction. It's an objective deduction. I mean, no matter how sleek the modern user interface looks, it has less work behind it because of the philosophy. Though, as exceptions, I would say, hell, even now that I think of it, even game menus are like that. Even game menus. Even game menus. And that's extremely weird seen from the outside, let's say, from countries with a much slower development rate, let's say, because that minimalistic style, it's somehow getting to us, but it didn't penetrate the culture as much as in the game development industry over there at the US. So it feels totally different. It feels different. It feels totally different because the futuristic design, at least it had the argument that, well, it's trying its own thing, be it whether the player likes it or not. It has an idea and it's risking it. This one is kind of like, I don't want to risk pissing off anybody. So they go for, since I don't want to piss off anybody, let's go for a sleek design. Neutral. The least polarizing option possible. Like that. And it's absolutely interesting because in fact it also matches a lot of the cultural influence that the developers imprint, that they put in their products. But yep, they had pretty amazing ideas back then, sorry. With Mhm. Here. With the 6th generation, but also the other ones. But I think the 6th generation is the one that made it most influenced the that futuristic aesthetic they were going for. Though yes, definitely the one that, I mean, the one that completely changed the paradigm of the industry. It was the NES, without a doubt, because without it, God knows what would have happened. 3rd gen, and then one could argue 5th gen, but it's just that it was my let's say my OG generation, the 5th gen. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'd rather go for 4th or 6th, but not 5th. The 5th one, it needed more time, and there wasn't any possibility of having more time. They had to push 3D graphics 100%. They needed something new, and yeah, I think the technologies were more important than the games at the end of the day, and I think that wasn't healthy at all. And I think that the alibi, the proof of this is that nowadays games from the 5th generation, they all need remakes. They constantly need remakes and remasters. Well, more remakes than remasters. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Medieval, though that one already had a remake on the PSP. They all need remakes. But games from the 4th generation and the 6th generation, they are still pretty smooth regarding their core gameplay mechanics. See, I'm my let's say my debut generation, the OG generation I grew up with, I don't like it. I I don't like the 5th generation. Yeah, definitely something to think about. I've been thinking about it a lot of time. Those futuristic aesthetics. In fact, that's why I also wanted to showcase my 3DS, my modded 3DS collection, because um, there's a huge, such the difference. You can clearly see the difference. I did this test. I actually did this test. It's a test with some friends. We put a Switch, a normal Nintendo Switch, side by side with my modded 3DS. Though the modded 3DS doesn't change the menu any more than the normal ones. You just have more freedom to add elements, but they are the same. So we put them side by side, and the level of customization. There was a third dungeon. All right, there's a third dungeon. The difference in level customization, in the level of customization was so big that even people, we tried it first on people who were used to playing video games, and then we did the same test on people who never played video games, and they could clearly distinguish the minimalistic and sleek, elegant philosophy behind the design of the Nintendo Switch menu, and the incredibly classic style and more crowded style of the 3D. See, the fire textures are different. See, this is what I've been talking about. People, see, they are completely different. Even I'm burning up. They're completely different. I think the textures were broken. I think the textures were broken in the version I played. In the vanilla unmodded / unmodded version I played. Because I had the textures on very high, and the fire was definitely was different. Also the aura around the items. Yeah, I'm using this cube as my extra storage. I know, but I have room. I have room. Maybe because I still haven't encountered a lot of rare weapons or legendary. Substantial holster. No, that's normal. One of the things I most like about this version is that the economy system is completely different. I mean, you don't need to be looting even the normal objects, so you can compensate, because that's what I was doing. Now that I play this one, I realized that I was doing that. I was compensating the extremely slow economy of the base version through looting everything. In this version, since the Palladium drop rate is much higher, and as a consequence the economy system is completely different. You don't need to be constantly looting and going back and forth to the base, so you can get some extra palladium. Yeah, I instinctively on the previous walkthrough, in the previous walkthrough I was I instinctively somehow replaced the slow economy. I tried to make up for the slow economy by looting everything and simply selling everything and going back and forth. Yeah. It pretty much, the slow economy of that version pretty much forced me to do that. And I did it instinctively, without noticing. Oh yeah. Here we go. Yeah, we are here. My two favorite characters. How have you been? The Psycho. And this guy, he's smiling. Not for long. Not for long. I've also noticed that the posters changed. that this version has some different posters. I commented this yesterday, but it also kept the ones that can like pay respects to the original guilds from the original game. But it also had some cool posters like this one. For a better tomorrow, through a tougher today. Zombies need not apply. Pretty good. And there were others. I remember I saw yesterday. This one as well. Pretty cool. Yes, and this one. Fight for the living with the original artwork. Pretty cool. Hey! I don't remember those. I don't remember those ceiling lights. Hey, my bot is here. Look at that. It has that cool. I don't remember adding this thing on top of my bot. Weird. Wonder what that could be. It looks like a pistol. No, don't enter there. It looks like a gun. Wait, but I didn't invest on that. Oh well, it's part of the aesthetic. It looks even cooler. I have 34 points to assign. Yes, I am exaggerating. I'm going to the extreme here. I'm being a bit extreme regarding that. Hey, good. Now at least I can see the something instead of a black background. Good. So aerial class aerial turret. I know it's a melee one. It's a melee bot. I mean, I only have this one. Yeah. Still have to work on that. Mm. Okay. So first, what's this? Yeah, this poster was on the previous version, but it didn't have the LAN 2030 logo down there. And this one, Confront the Abyss, Brave Survivors. I think that those two are new. Here you have this one. If you see something, say something. Please file bug reports. Pretty good, subtle way of encouraging your player base to report the bugs. Pretty good way. All right, unknown properties. +5 shields, good. I know, but it doesn't add the hit points and the minion health. That's actually helping me greatly. It was this. Add a link to the item's description in the chat line. Ah, yeah, we saw this yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, it's for selling and buying, I assume. Okay. So identify. Why I have no analyzers? It's already identified. My bad. Blaze pistol. I wonder what that may be. Blaze pistol, but no, it doesn't look like what I would use. Automatic rifle. Blah, blah. We have two straight batteries here. Minion. Wait. Hang on a second. Not only I can equip these, but if I can eventually equip this one, I'll be able to mod my minions' items. Good. Alright, I more or less have an idea of what I'm going to do then. Ammo. Okay. I think I need 2 straight batteries. This one adds 6% electricity damage. The one I have, what does it add? Wait, let me check it. 13 ignite attack strength. Well, then I could remove that and add the other one. Yeah, it costs half of my money, but well. I think we'll make a lot of money in this playthrough because we'll have to kill a lot of things anyway. So yeah, electricity. We can already equip the helmet. Good. Yeah, clearly the drops have been perfectly tailored because um, I remember one of the things I most complained about
We haven't consummated our
uh,
conversation.
in my previous walkthrough. Consignment house. What could this be? Hey, this is like the auction house, and the all right. So it has an online market. Well, okay. Faction, Templar, Kabbalist, Hunter, any one-handed guns. All right. So it has an online market. Damn. I feel like in I commented this yesterday, but I'll have to trim that part of the stream because I couldn't open the Hell Rift. Hmm. Talking about bug reports. Um, Sayona, just in case you are interested, yesterday you have the complete stream. It'll be here for 7 days. Just in case you are interested, at the end of the stream, for some reason, the Hell Rift at the end of Act One, it didn't appear, and today it did appear right at the beginning of the stream. But in the previous one, the one I did yesterday, um, it didn't appear. Just in case you just in case the it helps somehow with that little insignificant thing. Uh, for some reason, it didn't trigger the Hell Rift. So yeah, just in case you want to see it's recorded in the previous stream. No issue. Happens on a rare occasion. All right, right. I guess there's no reason why it happens. But well, rare okay, rare occasion, and it happened to me. I feel I feel unlucky or a pretty singular individual. One out of the two options.
Welcome.
The good thing is that you can restart and it works 100%. Okay. Oops. Here we go. Okay. All right. So what can we do here? All right. First of all, equip this. 3% damage. Good. Though my minion will be a bit squishy. Another helmet. Just what I needed. Another helmet. Exactly like that one. Mm, right. Where is it? Where is it? Here. Damn, I've missed using this thing. Well, actually, no, because it costs money. But yes. The good thing is that since I played the vanilla version first, and I'm playing a class which is somehow similar to mine, I am more or less familiar, and the gameplay won't be as painful as the previous one. That on that I had the right idea, because otherwise, imagine me jumping at this person straight away and getting killed so many times. The gameplay would have been even worse than the one. The walkthrough would have been even worse, even more painful than the one we experienced. Critical damage bonus? No. Critical damage mana. Right. It wants me to do that. I'm not doing that for now. The drops are completely different. The drops are completely different that I've realized, which is in fact the one change that makes the game much more playable. And not only that, all right, I need to do the story quest before we begin. Yes, just as I thought. So let's grab some of these. Picadilly Circus, I remember. Tickers, Picadilly Circus again. That's pretty much it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Piccadilly Approach. I assume first we have to go through. Yes, I remember. I remember it's all coming back to me. Yes. Hi there. Mm. All right, I have to talk to the guy. Okay. There we go. Here we go now. Yeah, I remember this section. Oh, I was... Yeah, right. The drop system being completely revamped is what actually makes the game much more enjoyable. Because, as I've been commenting, and this is a pretty interesting connection, especially for ranged classes. I mean, in the case of melee classes, as I've said, the stat point is much more intrinsic because you can increase the base damage rather than the critical chance by 0.5%. So, especially for ranged classes, there's a pretty interesting connection that I'm going to comment right now that I've been thinking about for some time between changing the drop system, as you can imagine, and those, because since your class, or most ranged classes, will have an extrinsic stat point system, they rely much more on the weapon rather than the stat points. I mean, of course, they'll help the class without a doubt, but especially on early levels like this, and even beyond, rebalancing the drop system actually influences the extrinsic stat point system of the core gameplay mechanics. And hey, we already have weapons with 6 mods right away. right now. That's so early game, and we already have medium health injectors. It's much faster, the progression is much faster, the economy system is much faster as a consequence. It's good that it's kind of like balanced all round, not just one department, not just one aspect of the base game. It kind of like cohesively makes all of the aspects faster. Hey, my bots. I forgot about the bots. It cohesively makes all of the aspects faster. And especially what I mentioned, the fact that since half of the classes, the ranged classes, have an extrinsic stat point system rather than intrinsic, you can clearly see how the balances in the drop rate of the weapons influence that. They are tailored, so the classes become not only viable because you could finish the vanilla version with most classes if you farm enough. But it makes them enjoyable and probably potentially viable for endgame content. Enjoyable and potentially viable for endgame content. Legendary ammo right there. Straight battery? No, curbed. 54 poison attack strength. That will be a huge boost. I just removed the previous mod. Oh well. We'll probably have some loot in there. So yes, it's interesting to see, extremely interesting, and pretty clever as well. Seeing how they drop. Oops. That was a pretty long stun. Taking a look at how the drop rate of weapons and the drop rate and the type, not only the frequency, but also the not only how often legendary or rare weapons drop, but also the quality. It's interesting to see how that completely revamps the core gameplay mechanics, especially as I said for extrinsic gameplay systems like ranged classes in this game. Definitely Monster Hunter could use a lot of this, because if I had to pick one game that should do this, it's that one. That game was unplayable for me, any of them, because of how extremely extrinsic the core gameplay mechanics were. I mean, it was your armor, your weapon, and nothing else. No stats. And that pretty much ruined the experience for me. Just like I mentioned, how the balance between the usage of potions and the overall difficulty curve completely ruined the original Kingdoms of Amalur. The extremely extrinsic combat system ruins Monster Hunter 4, and also the terrible. This is something. Well, this is a topic that I've endlessly talked about. The stamina bar. The other element which completely ruins the combat system in that game is the stamina bar. And this is probably my most... Anyone watching this as a YouTube bot or as a Twitch bot, please try not to hate me. I've commented this endlessly. I think the stamina bar ruined the combat system in so many games. Not as much, of course, as an unbalanced usage of potions, or like Monster Hunter going for an extremely extrinsic system, which can be done correctly. I think that extremely extrinsic combat systems or stat systems in which your combat style and your performance will completely 100% depend on the weapons you loot rather than your stat points or your skill tree. They can be done correctly, but it's much more difficult. It's much more difficult. That's why I was surprised by this game. It's much more difficult. That's why you don't see because you are adding the random component to it. So if you don't create a perfectly tailored extrinsic system, a perfectly tailored drop system for your extrinsic core gameplay elements, it can completely ruin the game. It can completely ruin the game because if you are adding RNG to it, and if you don't loot uh, decent weapons, it'll be painful for the player, and at the end of the day, they'll end up getting tired of it, and they'll end up not playing the game. It's much more difficult to create a balanced extrinsic system. That's why you don't see a lot of Borderlands, Destiny, MMO, FPS, MMORPG games. And this is also something that affects isometric action RPG games, in fact. And it's extremely difficult to do that. To balance the extrinsic stat point system, completely relying on the weapon rather than your skill tree or your build and your base stats with a proper, perfectly tailored drop system. Now, the other topic that I asked anyone who may be watching this as a YouTube ball not to hate me is that the stamina bar. I simply cannot. If there's one element which I think has ruined a lot of gameplay systems, let's go to the Hell Rift. What do we need to do? Explore Piccadilly Circus. This is Piccadilly Circus. I am exploring it. Let's enter the Hell Rift. Alright, it was the other way. The other way. Damn, this guy is still after me, but he disappears. Can we have a fair fight just to stay put so I can kill you? Well, you have the option of killing me, but I don't think that's gonna happen. There you are. Fortunately, I have the drones that tell me where he is. The stamina system. I must say that while Sekiro was a great game, I haven't played it, but I've seen enough gameplay of it as to. I played it up until the first boss, and it wasn't because of the difficulty. It wasn't because of the difficulty in that particular case. Uh, Trust me, all of the people who say that Souls games are difficult, they haven't played Forza Horizon 1 without assists and without and with the artificial intelligence on the highest difficulty, or Forza Motorsport 2. Those two games, Forza Horizon 1 and Forza Motorsport 2, you people have no idea how much more difficult they are when compared to Souls games. Because in Souls games, you can at least farm. In the games that I'm mentioning, that's not an option. So it's not about the difficulty. The stamina bar has completely ruined a lot of games for me. I don't play games with stamina bars. I must confess. It's the one element that I cannot. I definitely cannot stand. Stamina bar, it's way too slow. It's not because of the difficulty, because I've played slow games before. I could even endure Divinity Original Sin, which is turn-based, and you know how much I don't like turn-based games, people, if you've watched any of my previous rants, but stamina bars, they are beyond unbearable for me. They are beyond unbearable. for those of us, it happens only to people, in my experience, who were used to games from the 6th generation, from the 7th generations, from the 7th generation. The stamina bar is way too slow. Way too slow. To the point it's unbearable. For me, it's unbearable. And it completely ruined a lot of Western RPGs for me, because nowadays everyone includes the fucking stamina bar. It doesn't matter if the game needs it or not, they fucking include a fucking stamina bar. I think they don't even question it. I think it's automatic. It's an RPG, stamina bar. It's an RPG, stamina bar. Stamina bar, stamina. Place a stamina bar in there. It's automatic. For me, they cost a lot of damage. For my personal taste, they completely ruined a lot of great Western RPGs that could have worked without using a stamina bar. There's this indie game. There's this indie game called Alaloth, Champions of the Four Kingdoms or something like that, or Five Kingdoms, something like that. That game is basically an isometric action RPG like Diablo, which has a fucking stamina bar without any kind of reason. There's no reason to include a stamina bar. I mean, do you know in which element you can clearly see that they are unneeded in most cases? A step into hell. Well, this is new. So, recover the oracle. I know it's part of the quest. Good. Please wait until I resummon my bot, my drone. That now the modern use of the stamina bar. Yeah, I can see why you need the aggressive skill for melee drones. They kind of like don't engage. Yeah, I can see it. Is that most modern, the modern usage of the stamina bar in these games? It refills so fast that it's mostly as if it wasn't there. It's something extremely subtle that I've seen that a lot of people don't notice it. They stamina bars in modern games refill so fast from Dark Souls onwards. Nowadays they refill so fast that it's as if it wasn't there, and that proves that they were unneeded right from the start. Anyways, even if they refill fast, I don't use them because I simply don't like having a stamina bar. It's something more. It's an instinct I have that I simply cannot accept them. I simply cannot accept them. Blobo. Asperos of spawning. Alright, it's like the necropolis. This one is like the necropolises. But yeah, there you can see. That's my argument, at least. My personal argument. Whenever I get in discussions about the stamina bar, that's my argument. You don't need it nowadays. It refills so fast, it doesn't act like Dark Souls 1. It refills so fast that you can clearly see that it wasn't meant to be there. So why do they include it? They include it. Tradition? They think that it will help them sell some more games? I don't know, but I would clearly go for much faster combat. Well, in that regard, there's another one. There's one that actually eliminated it. Oh, it didn't eliminate it. It ended up not including it. And it has the best gameplay. I mean, not like Sekiro, but out of the indie ones, because there are a ton of indie games that are Dark Souls clones nowadays. Not only famous things, more AA famous things like Alex or what was it called? Damn. Lords of the Fallen. That one is another one that is somehow AA famous one, but also the indie ones. There was this one. I don't remember the name. Uh, damn. The one that had the that ended up removing the stamina bar. I remember it. It was Arborea. And it ended up having a pretty good combat, exactly because it doesn't have that stamina bar for the basic attack. It has it for the rolling. For the rolling mechanic, yes, it's. I think it's pretty good. But for basic attacks, I think there shouldn't be stamina bars. So yeah. What was the name of the other one that actually? That one was pretty clever because it was similar. It was similar to Hellgatelondon because you could use ranged weapons. Damn it! What was the name? And you wouldn't spend the stamina when you shoot your weapon. I cannot remember the name. It was a pretty obscure indie one. It wasn't a AA. But well, that one. Then I'll remember it. Then next time I'll check it, or maybe then. What was the name of that one? My bot. I drawn. There we go. Cannot remember it. But well, when you could use ranged weapons and you wouldn't spend stamina on that, and it was pretty, and that made it one of the best Souls likes for me because it had the stamina bar, but only for rolling, not for firing your weapon, your ranged weapon. Damn. I'm going to search for it. When I don't remember a game, it's I need to search. I need to look it up. Once we finish this, I'll look it up. What was it? Okay, I think I've completed everything here. I was meant to explore Piccadilly Circus. We can do that. No, I'm just mindlessly farming at this point while I remember my game. No, let's go back. What was it? What was the name? I can't believe I don't remember it. Well, having to remember plus 1500 games, it's a bit difficult. Oh well. What was it? Give me a second. Give me a second. I need to remember that, sorry. I need to remember it. What was the name of that game? I won't finish the stream leaving you without the name, people. Game. What was the name of that one? It was an indie game. Wait. It was an RPG. Ah, here it is. Immortal Unchained. Immortal Unchained. Here it is. Immortal Unchained. Immortal Unchained. Now yeah. Sorry, yeah. Yeah. Immortal Unchained. Immortal Unchained. That one. Well, that one and Arborea. If I remember correctly, Arborea ended up removing the stamina bar. I'm not sure. I think it removed it. Wait, let me confirm it because then it had it, but for rolling, not for basic attacks. It had it for just for rolling, not for basic attacks. And indeed that's what ended up making the game much better. I remember. Yeah, it was last year. Wait. Sorry, I need to check this because I don't remember. Yeah, it ended up having the stamina bar, but just for rolling. I don't want to tell you something that is not actually that. You can check out the gameplay anyways, but I want to see it. Yeah, it doesn't use it for basic attacks. It doesn't use it for basic attacks. That's the thing. Well, Immortal Unchained and Arborea, both of those went for a different solution, and it worked extremely well. And it worked extremely well.
Is that a
That's
hellgate
why
in your
I always
pocket,
argue
or
that
are
those
you
stamina
just
bars,
happy to
I
see me?
simply cannot stand them. Oh, that's a huge difference.
I was going for a drink.
That's a huge difference.
Want to come?
Good. Oh yeah, there you have two obscure examples of. I mean, they shouldn't be obscure because they are pretty good games and they had a bit of of
You
advertisements
found me.
of advertising. Sorry.
Now,
Um,
what are you going to do
but
with me?
yeah, they are obscure in comparison to the traditional ones with the stamina bar. But yes, I definitely think that there's no reason behind including those stamina bars. That's for sure. Head of the Oracle, blah blah. Ah, yeah, right. We need to
Come back.
explore
We haven't
Piccadilly Circus.
consummated our
My bad.
conversation.
Oh wait, let's do this. Yeah, we're in the middle of the summer here. We're beginning the summer here in the southern part of the world. Oh, on the southern part of the world, yeah, in the southern part of the world. And yeah, it's the nights are getting shorter and the days longer. It the sun pretty much. There we go. Yeah, pretty much. I would say the twilight is at 9 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. now here. Oh well, consider that I am at the end of the world. Yeah, it's literally the end of the world. I mean, what is there beneath Argentina? Nothing. Well, yeah, yeah. Now someone's gonna is gonna say over at the YouTube board, there is something. The South Pole. The Southern Pole. Yeah, but that's only used for. It's kind of like an international zone for studying the penguins and the climate, pretty much. There we go. Yeah. Well, another thing that was amazing back in the 90s and the early 2000s is that all of those consoles with those great ambiances were usually at Christmas, and it's amazing to watch Christmas over at the the eastern coast of the U.S. because they decorate with all of those incredible things. And usually when you rewatch those console um, releases, those console releases from the hey, there's a passageway there. Where here? First passageway. Yeah, this is my first passageway. Let's see the drops. The drops. Hey, that's new. The candles there. That's new. Pretty good distinctive touch. And yes, it's amazing that to rewatch all of those console releases. They were usually at Christmas, and it looks great. They all look great. Not only the event itself of selling the consoles for the first time, but also the ambience. It's absolutely amazing. And yes, those are things that nowadays I miss. I at least personally miss. I mean, at least watching them. Because nowadays you usually buy online. Oh, yeah. Snipers are what the... Wow. Yeah, this has been completely revamped. This has been completely revamped. I didn't encounter even a single one of these passageways in the previous version. This is completely different. 100%. I've never seen such a wide passageway. Hey, it has different paths. Wow, and here the assets are, of course, like the original. Okay, pretty good because it adds a lot of environment variety, definitely. Hey, those steel weapons, I still don't understand what they are. They are. It said kind of like double-edged or something like that last time I remember. Like they have a negative property. Double-edged. Yeah, like they have pretty good base properties, positive ones, of course, but they also include negative ones. Hmm. Those are definitely new. So, and here it's the same. No, the textures are sharper. The textures are sharper. Maybe in the previous version they were broken, I don't know, but definitely the textures of the sea down there, they are sharper. I think a lot of the textures, even if you put the game on very high graphics of the original version, weren't actually working. I think they weren't actually working, if I had to say. The fire, for sure. The fire, that one for sure wasn't working properly. What the? Luckily we have first person. No, yeah, I got stuck there for a bit. They surrounded me and I got stuck. Well, anyways, we completed both Yeah, we completed both of them. I was just farming at that point without noticing. Here.
Hello.
Hi there.
Anytime.
Hi there. How's it going? Return to Lord Orphan? Ah, glad to see this
I
guy
don't
back.
think you were
Just
brought by my friend.
glad to see this guy once again, sorry. The consignment house. What? And Piccadilly Circus? Explore, but didn't I explore it? Right, circus. Maybe I explored the approach instead. That slow salmon will cause me will cause me troubles later on. Maybe I am pretty sure of it. And what else? What else? Arachno MK2. Arachno MK2. I love how it changed the name. Piccadilly approach. Yes, I focused on exploring this one. Flag is ship. I don't remember looking at those. It feels like some of the textures are different as well of the environment. Some of the textures of the environment are certainly different. I don't know if it's because yeah I didn't explore it here. Oh well, we have a lot of room to go nuts here. Ah yes, I remember this one. When I first played this, I did the comparison between the level design and the gameplay mechanics and how it influenced it. Yeah, I think it also affected the lava. Yes, definitely the very high textures were broken. Now I just need one thing. There's one last thing that I need to make my personal. I know that a lot of people hate them, but to make my experience perfect, I need to look for a. I don't know if there is or if it's possible, but if a Skyrim could include it through modding, maybe I'm lucky and I can find one for this one. Floating damage numbers. If I can find floating damage numbers, uh, it'll make my experience perfect. I love those. I would include floating damage numbers on any game ever. People would probably hate me, but well. I wonder if I can find a mod with floating damage numbers. If that exists somehow, it would help me greatly because I love those. Um, I'll look for one of those. I wonder if they exist, but if I can find one of those, I'll implement it because all right, I have a 1% chance of doing that explosion. Or was it the boss? No, it was the mob. I already removed that gear. Um, yes, I just need floating damage numbers here to make my to make it even more comfortable. I love those. Then I'll look for one of those. Mm. It'll also make measuring my damage easier. I remember when I added a damage numbers mod to my copy of Skyrim. And a lot of my friends told me, "You're crazy adding floating damage numbers to Skyrim." What are you thinking about? That completely ruins the experience.
What are
Yeah,
you
but then I
going
was
to
able to
do
measure
for me?
my damage and create an extremely OP character. Finally, straight battery. All right, third time's the charm. Now we were lucky and we got a straight battery. But yes, I need to find a floating damage numbers mod. This one is curbed. This one's a relic, and we need to include. So we'll use the.
I'll be
We'll
waiting.
actually. Hey, I think I'll use the legendary heavy rifle. No, that one's for formula. No. No, here. We will unmod this one, and we'll include the legendary mod. So I think I only have one slot. We could also enchant it, but I think it's way too early to begin enchanting. But they're the same prices here, right? For enchanting here. No, could it be? No, I think they are lower. 600. No, I think in the vanilla base, the vanilla version, I think it's actually more expensive. So I need to stick to this weapon because of the 2 beacon points there. So we'll add the common property. It increased the base damage. So good. That should get us by for a while. That should get us by for a while. Straight battery. Now we have 3 mods, all of them of either rare or of legendary quality. So the drop, the balanced drop rate also affects the mods, as you can see. And we have this one. Choose for me. No, not choose for me. I want that. And let me equip this. Let me sell all of that stuff because we just spent a lot of money. There we go, there we go, there we go. Anyways, we'll loot a lot of things because of the increased economy, of the faster economy that the game has and the faster drop rate. I'll keep this one just in case. Just in case, I'll keep that mob. And let's grab the next batch of side quests. Lucius, this is my favorite quest out of all of the game. When we played the previous walkthrough with the analysis, the vanilla version. Give me that. Remember, we are not doing the 100% completion this time. We've already done that. So this time I will just grab the missions as fast as we can and proceed. Piccadilly approach. Alright. Sire beacons. Okay. Yeah, it's incredible how, as I've said, how the fact that this game has an extrinsic uh, stat point system. Yeah, I think I've already killed everyone here. That was easy. How the fact that this game has an extrinsic stat point system, how that is, for the ranged characters, how that is completely influenced by the increased drop rate of the modded version of London that London 2038 has. Because it completely revamps the core gameplay mechanics. Thanks to that. Alright, we unlocked another quest and we'll probably have to go to Green Park next. But first, let me grab... is it here? No, it's over there. So yes, it's a hybrid stat point system. Ranged classes have an extrinsic stat point system and core gameplay mechanics because it completely relies on the weapon. When I say extrinsic and intrinsic, I mean how much the loot and the weapons influence the performance of your tune, of your character, of the player. Um, And in the case of this one, it's intrinsic for the melee classes because they can increase the base damage, but ranged classes cannot. And it's extremely clever. It's extremely clever what this mod does because the revamped drop rate influences the extrinsic core gameplay elements that the game has. It's something extremely subtle because at the end of the day you don't mini dynamos right away. Those are probably the enemies that I hate the most. Well, we're getting killed here. Was that a stalker? Which had fire breath. That was crazy. Alright, we survived. Yay, we survived. So yeah, it's something extremely subtle, but if I had to say, that's the core modification that the mod fixes. It's the most important one, that's for sure. The drop rate and how they are perfectly tailored. Because since the game has that hybrid system, it's exponentially more important. If the game was completely intrinsic, well, it wouldn't have had so much impact. But in this case, a balanced drop rate is, without a doubt, something that the base game needed, and not only that, the one element that so far completely improved the experience. Completely improved it. Ah, my bot's not. See, that's why you always have your drone out. Oh yes. I love how I said that I wouldn't analyze it, but I couldn't help myself. No, actually, when I play offline on my own, I'm even slower. I go slowly, but extremely slowly. Green Park Station, Green Park Approach. It should be set. All right, it's another gauntlet. Yeah, this is something I highlighted during the analysis. This game uses a concealed gauntlet system. Extremely well concealed, even on the vanilla version. You are using the old school gauntlet system from Diablo 1, kind of like going into Tristram Cathedral, one level after the other, but here you don't realize, because they are usually means to reach a new location or complete a side quest. It's a concealed gauntlet system. Extremely refined. I think it's the most refined one because nowadays the gauntlet system, it's not... We don't see it so much, as I mentioned during the analysis, in isometric action RPG games or FPS MMORPG games. Rather than those, we encounter the gauntlet system in roguelikes, or those roguelites that they called. I don't like calling them like that. They are actually simply for me they are isometric action RPG games with randomly generated dungeons. The problem is that most people never played the games with the gauntlet system. Though there's a remake of Gauntlet, a modern remake of Gauntlet made by an extremely talented, extremely talented company on PC. There's a remake which it's absolutely amazing because they had a lot of experience with some previous games, and they use the same engine. And what was it? I I think I'll have to use some help again for remembering those. What was the name of the game again? I have it here. It was the company. I think it was the company behind Forced and Forced Showdown. Uh, those two also released. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Somewhere over here. Where was it? Oh no, right. I moved the twin stick shooters over here. The here, this one, Gauntlet. This one. That one's a remake, pretty well done, because the company had experience with those two previous games, if I remember correctly. If it wasn't the same company, the engine was extremely similar. They were different companies, but they used a pretty similar engine and an extremely similar gameplay mechanics. And since people nowadays, by now, they have never come into contact with games that use the gauntlet system, things like Diablo 1, things like Diablo 1 or Fate 1 or the ones that I mentioned during the analysis. A lot of old school isometric action RPGs, but mostly I would say Fate 1 and Diablo 1. Since they've never known them, they decide to call them roguelikes or roguelites just because they are randomly generated. Actually, it's not randomly; it's procedurally generated. Um, how they should call them, but yes, because they do follow a pattern. See the retextured fire? They do follow a pattern, though they are random. What are random are the elements, but they do follow a pretty subtle pattern because they use those algorithms. And yes, nowadays it's a pretty interesting phenomenon that people nowadays call roguelites and roguelikes to procedurally generated isometric action RPG games. Basically, that's the thing, or platformers, something like Rogue Legacy. Uh, well, that one has some RPG elements, but it's a 2D platformer, action platformer. So yeah, or something like um, Risk of Rain, which also has the FPS mechanics. Well, you can tell people that I've explored a lot of games by because of how obscure the ones that I name are. I know the ones that I mostly like to focus on are those from the early 2000s. I think they had a charm. Things like Hellgate London or Advent Rising. Now that I've played them, they have a particular charm, which is that they didn't have ambient occlusion. They used the raw shadows. They didn't have that ambient. They didn't have ambient occlusion. And yes, I would say games from 2003 to 2007. It was that the time of the original Xbox. I think they look. They have a particular charm, a particular graphical style, particular style which is unique because they don't have ambient occlusion, so you don't have those realistic shadows, kind of like in contrast with the sun, with the god rays of the sun and the different lights. For example, you can tell it in if you look at human characters closely, you'll see that they don't have ambient occlusion, and I actually like it looking like that. Knights of the Old Republic, for example, has this style, and I think it looks better than a lot of more modern games because it has to do with this graphical style rather than the resolution of the textures. That's something we've improved. I mean, everyone as a whole of the gaming community as a whole, people nowadays value more the graphical style instead of the resolution of the textures. That's something extremely positive. Sadly, they arrived a bit late because all of this um, happened after the craze of the original one, the game that actually revived those pixel art styles and mostly influenced the current situation. You know, a lot of people don't remember it. It was New Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo Wii as well as the DS. Uh, a lot of people forget that there's a huge gap between the last classic 2D Mario game and that one. The original plan was to go fully 3D forever after the fifth generation. Not only Nintendo, all of them. 2D games were meant to become extinct originally, and when the sales of New Super Mario Brothers combined with the boom of Steam, we could also add a second element: the boom of Steam and the general exposure, a renewed exposure of indie games. They revived those 2D. They revived 2D graphics, and they actually taught people how to value those modernly. It was incredible because it was kind of like going back to the roots in a different way with more tools because they had more resources than OG programmers and original programmers from the 90s, from the fourth generation. Because yeah, this is something that most ignore. Hey, good. We also have portals here. Dark Horse Comics. Yeah, I found out that this game also has books published. There are also books published about this game. There are also books. Good. We need to go back, in fact, so we can turn in those two quests. But yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. A lot of people forget that between it was kind of like a huge gap, a huge gap. The fourth generation pretty much perfected 2D graphics. Then they only survived 2D graphics. 2D graphics only survived on portable consoles. A pretty crazy thing, and the perfected, the even more, even the most perfected version of 2D graphics, uh, the Game Boy Advance, of course. Um, Even more, you could also argue the Sega Saturn, but that one is extremely niche, and it didn't have any releases. It had very few releases outside of Japan, so I would say it's the Game Boy Advance. Well, also because of I have a preference for Nintendo, but well, uh, yes, it's incredible that 2D graphics were extinct by 2003. They were extinct except for the Game Boy Advance. The fourth generation was long gone. Everything, the craze of 3D graphics, it even destroyed Sega with it, the craze of 3D graphics. And it's incredible that we've gone back to perfected 2D graphics. In the end, the Game Boy Advance was right all along. Because you can see that the sprites and everything, they are much more perfected, and also the gameplay mechanics, they are much more perfected than in the fourth generation. The hitboxes on the Game Boy Advance are extremely smooth when compared to the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis. to the 4th generation. There you can see the improvement. And after that, extinct, totally extinct until New Super Mario Brothers. And the gap is huge because wait a second, I need the health injectors. Medium, we have medium, right? We need more of those. I'm actually using personal relocation devices on this in this version, which I wasn't using in the previous one because this was broken. This was completely broken. And yeah, pretty much. Let's turn in this one. If I remember correctly. God damn it. Now this is a reward. The rewards are also much better here, as you can see. Yeah, 2D graphics were dead. It was a gap. The last... Yeah, the plan was 2D games on portable consoles. Hey, what are those corpses doing? Well, they look cool. They look pretty cool. I know they disappeared. They disappeared. Also, you will... I like that I no longer have to look at vertex explosions in the when I look at those portals. Well, give me this one, but make any difference? Hmm, interesting. What else do we have? We have the story mission. Where there's the story mission, and where is it? Maybe it's a bounty. Yeah, I remember. Ah, yeah, right. Mini dynamo. My friends, my favorite friends, the mini dynamos. Right, and then the next side quests are at the other station. Green Park. All right. There were side quests here? No, I remember there weren't. Yeah, they are, but no. Yeah, I remember. Hi there.
If you happen to catch a hellgate in your travels, deliver it up.
Mini Dynamo still lives. All right. No, first the story. Which one is the story quest? Arms and answers. All right, so this is the main story quest, and then the Dynamo Green Park approach. This is Green Park Station. It was close. Green Park approach. We can do it. We need to go back. Besides, this dungeon will already be cleared because we just killed everything in this dungeon. Alright, we do this one and then we go back. Damn, those vertex explosions, I imagine they must be extremely difficult to pinpoint and fix. The vertex explosions for the portals. Alright, since I picked this quest, I should get... I know, from any demon. No. Okay. Yeah. Alright, I need to wait until it respawns, probably. Right, then we'll go straight for the main quest. Alright, yes, I was commenting the 2D graphics. There was a huge gap of years in which 2D graphics were originally meant only for portable consoles. It was a pretty obscure time because... these guys, I was missing these guys. Wait, can I call my bots right here? Yeah, I can. It was a pretty obscure time because it was a huge gap. Most people don't notice it, but there's a huge gap between the last portable, 2D Mario release, and then the revival. It's a huge gap. It's from 2003 to 2009, 2010, I believe, even like 7 years. And yeah, there you can clearly see that the original plan was to have 2D games reserved exclusively for portable consoles. That was the original idea. Um, so you can have an idea of what companies were thinking. They were thinking that players didn't want 2D graphics anymore. Look where we are now. The complete opposite. But 100% completely the opposite. Completely. There's no... Seek the altar of pain. Alright, let's do that. Alright, those guys. I was about to resummon my bot. And yeah, that huge gap tells you the original intention they had. They thought 3D games were going to stay forever without without any competition. And nowadays, it's extremely balanced. If I had to pick one positive thing of this era, it would be that one. Of these generations, of this modern generation, I would say from the 8th generation onwards. Uh, that's pretty much. I don't want to say the only positive thing because there were more positive things, but the most prominent one, that there's a perfect balance between 2D and 3D games. You have a lot to choose from, and everything. Hell, even I that I don't like stamina bars, I could find those games that I was mentioning earlier. Mm, Immortal Unchained and Arborea. And yes, for the rest, there we go. I think I saw some explosive barrels there. Get there. Huh. When I see things like, for example, Shovel Knight or those 2D indies, I think about all of these that I've been commenting. That huge gap, how there was a huge gap of years and then it became a craze. Because nowadays we have, I think we even have more 2D indie games than than let's say modern releases with graphics, with those bleeding edge graphics. Of course, they are cheaper to produce. That's the thing, but well, there's the altar of pain. Let's do the altar of pain, and then we'll explore the passageway. Remember, we need to farm here. Thank you. This is probably my favorite section. That the crazy scientist Lucius doing. Treasure passageway. Yes. So, this is new as well. These were probably unused assets of the vanilla version because I don't remember stumbling upon treasure passageways. In the previous version, well, that's a lot of money. Good. I was lucky. For a change, I was lucky. It's lucky for a change. There we go. Palladium. Blah blah blah. Yeah, this is definitely an unused asset of the original version. Here I can notice the restored content part of it. The restored content nature of it, let's say. Let's get out of here. Oh yeah. I love that portals finally work. So I don't have to backtrack. I backtracked the entire vanilla game and now I can do this. I cannot believe it. I backtracked the complete vanilla game. It wasn't my brightest idea, but well, I'm happy I could do it. I think my left leg is longer than the dialogues of this guy are top notch.
Yes, sir. I'll get right on pretending to do what you ask of me. And
This is the best. The best. Highly suggest you check out the original part, the original walkthrough. My original walkthrough of this one. If you're watching this for the first time as a YouTube bot, I need to upload this one and the previous day and the previous stream because yeah, that part is worth exploring it. Rome, Dublin. So they had ideas for an Italian expansion and an Irish expansion. Eurotube. I think I can read this. This reminder brought to you by your friends at Flagship Studios. This reminder brought to you by your friends at Flagship Studios. Well, I could barely read that, but I could. 4 hours, 1 train, 0 guild. Venice. These were probably the context. They were meant to give you the context that you are in London. I mean, you can reach all of those locations pretty fast from there. That's the idea. It would have been cool. Or maybe they planned on doing more of those. I read something about an Australian part of it. I wonder if we can somehow, if I can oh, what the? This is totally different. I remember that even in the darkest version of the other one, you could see the exospectors over there at the sky. Bit of brain. They yeah, definitely the drop rate for the quest items is also revamped, thankfully, because if you watch my previous walkthrough, people, you'll know that that was one of the worst parts of it as well. Though my monitor is also responsible for this, something I mentioned last time. It's configured so you actually cannot see when you are meant not to see, for example, caves like Skyrim or that. I'm just giving context to those of you who may be watching this as a YouTube bot. It's because of my monitor. I mean, not only my monitor, my visual settings. I want that when I enter a cave, I want not to see. Besides, I have pretty good natural sight for now, and I hate it when I can see when I'm not meant to do that in games. For example, a cave or something like that, a pitch dark cave. So I did this. Now, if there's one thing, there are two things I need to investigate. First, I need to look for the for a floating damage numbers mod, if such thing exists. First I need to look for that. And then, see if I can find that, and then I want to try to unlock the frame rate, as you can see. Because when I alt-tabbed once, it actually unlocked, and I could play it at unlocked frame rates. So I'm not sure if it's the game engine or something like that. But it also happened to me on the vanilla version, so it has to be part of the game engine. I wonder if I change it from DirectX 9 to DirectX 10, but that will probably break everything. To unlock the frame rate. Because the thing is that this game, I don't know if it used Unreal Engine or something like that, but it has a smoothed frame rate. That option was uh, distinctive of things like Gears of War 1 from 2007 on PC. They used that smooth frame rate option uh, to kind of like make up for what was the standard at the time, 30 FPS. But at the end of the day, we ended up using them with 60 FPS. And that's why the game looks so smooth. This version looks so smooth. Because I have the smooth frame rate, the smoothed frame rate, and besides, this one is G-synced because of the monitor. Of course, even if you cannot see the full effect, it does somehow influence it. I can the smoothed frame rate. So yeah, I need those two things now. Floating damage numbers, first of all, and then I want to see if I can unlock the frame rate. I'll check over at PC Gaming Wiki and those things, see if I can unlock the frame rate. And if I can, I'll share it here, but it will be pretty... It'll be a challenge, I think, because it's tied to the game engine. But it has the option, that's the worst part. That it has the option. It does have the option, but even if you select 144 refresh rate, it doesn't work. Then I'll do some tests. Because when I alt-tabbed, it actually worked. There it is. So I need to pinpoint exactly what causes it to work. It could be the fact that when I use two screens, I use a TV as a second monitor for the stream, and maybe it somehow detects. There are some games that do that. It somehow detects the 60 FPS of the TV instead of the monitor. But I've tried it kind of like off stream, offline, and it was the same. That's the thing. Yeah. First of all, I want to see if there's any floating damage numbers mob, and then that. Hey, there are achievements here as well. I didn't check the achievements. Last time I saw something like that, but I didn't check them. Yeah, they are completely revamped as well. And they are kind of like secret. Because I couldn't see them yesterday. Undying Tenacity, Dispatch. And they give you boosts. So the achievements grant you boosts. I hate crates. I'm about to complete that one as well. Ah, but it doesn't say how many. It has a percentage, but it doesn't have how many exactly the number. Okay, you use the percentage. Currently equipped. What's this? Equipping things over at the achievement page. Alright, this, probably. I have to equip it. I know, it's not complete. My bad. It just shows you. Alright, and then you can equip them. Oh, interesting. Interesting turn of events. So you can equip achievements. That's something games should include. Pretty original. Okay. So if I destroy, let's try it with the. Let's try that right now. In fact, let's destroy some more crates, and we'll get that. Seek the Womb of Despair in Death's tunnels. Yes, we know. Mina Green Park, Savile Row. Where's that? Savile Row, Oxford Circus. Uh, Savile Row. I don't remember this one. No, I don't. I definitely don't remember this one. Then I can check. No, well, I can no longer check the offline version, but Savile Row. Ah, yes, at the entrance. Was this in the vanilla version? Yeah, I guess it was. Then I will rewatch my stream. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I remember we did some missions. Level 12. And I am... what level am I? I've already lost count. 10. Good. Anyways, they are already of pretty high level. They already are of pretty high level. Good. So we're also farming. Let's destroy some crates so we can see the equipment, the achievement equipment system. Please give me some crates. There we go. Grotesque. I remember these guys. They're like a different version of the necropolis. There we go. So we are farming. We are completing a quest. So we are getting stat points, and we are also getting that achievement so we can try that out. Good. 3 things at the same time. Good. That's exactly how I like it. The classic trick of changing the colors of the enemies. I commented this during the analysis. The classic idea of just changing the color of the enemies and recycling them. A classic developer technique from the early 2000s and the 90s. In this case, they don't change the color; they change the names. That was also original, pretty original. There we go. There we go. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, definitely. if I can somehow implement floating damage numbers. If I could somehow do that, it would be amazing. But yeah, I don't think it will be possible, but I will look for some mods. Let's see if we can include floating damage numbers. Because I simply love them. They are amazing. Here we have a lot of things to destroy. Let's see if the achievement... So we can trigger the achievement. Maybe not all... Yeah. Maybe this one increases movement speed or something like that. I don't know. 100%. No. 99%. Well. There we go. Yay. Now, let's try that. So. Damn it. It doesn't award you any of those talents. Damn. Damn. My bad. Oh well. Complete 12 story quests. Yep. I can see a pattern here. The ones that involve killing things are the ones that actually award you this. I see. Alright, so this is kind of like a reward for farming. Pretty cleverly designed. Because it makes you feel that farming isn't 100% useless. I mean, it provides experience, but yeah. It also has a lot of replayability. That's the important thing. Because coming to think of it, I remember there were some which involved killing 10,000 or something crazy like that back when I played the vanilla version. And well, as an endgame mechanic, it adds a lot of replayability, especially the end game. If I had to say, I need one more zombie, please. I just need one more zombie. I just need one more zombie. Yeah, I can see it. That I won't find it. That I won't find the last zombie. No. Where? See, I learned a thing or two from playing the vanilla version. There we go, we got the last zombie. I learned a thing or two. Consider that I'm playing without investing the rest of the talents, which is actually what I wanted to do because... otherwise it would be... I don't want to make the same mistake I made with my previous build, that I completely ruined it. Though this time, thanks to the extra stat points, I'll be able to plan ahead. In that regard, this game is extremely strict. You need to think ahead of time. It's not like you can change it on the go. Let's see how many we have. 39 skill points. 39, sorry, stat points and 5 skill points. Yeah, the skill points are slower than the stat points because of this. Yeah, it's kind of like every time you get a skill point especially, You need to think very well what to do. I've been playing without the skill points I actually purchased. Oh my god. So I actually had... Alright. Okay, I see. So these are the bots and this one's a drone. Alright, this kind of like the main companion. Okay, I get it. I get it. I was playing without those. Damn, now I feel stupid. Damn. I forgot about that one. So now I have a ranged attack and a melee attack. Good. That's what I like. Hey! It has fire! And it explodes! It's like a mini napalm strike. Hey, and now I can appreciate the great fire textures every 2 seconds. Look at that. Amazing. Incredible. Well. I am loving this. Yep. I should have done that probably an hour ago. But well. Better late than never. I forgot I had invested that point. My idea was to face Golkar with this guy, but well. Well, now I can see. So here are kind of like the mini salmons, and this one is completely new. Or that, I wonder if it works like this in the vanilla version. We'll never know because I'm not playing that again. So well, uh, good. I guess we'll be able to clearly see that that I'm not crazy and that the fire is actually different here. That it's been retextured. Green Park Approach, Oxford Circus Station, not what we're looking for. And this I think this is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. It's been 3 hours and 37 minutes. Well, I'm definitely enjoying myself with this one. Good old Oxford Circus Station. Thanks. We have to complete this. I take that back. I don't remember this. Could it be? Oxford Circus Station. Please tell me that I'm not crazy. Oxford Circus Station. No, definitely. Mormor's here. I completed every single side quest. I don't remember this. No, this is definitely new. Mormor, tell me what. He's willing to share what he knows of the war. This is the usual dialogue. I don't remember this. Did I complete this? No, this is... These are new side quests? Or probably restored content side quests? I'm pretty sure we only had these as part of the main quest back there, and I did all of the side quests, and I don't remember this. Yes. This is new, so you get a new station. I wasn't expecting to find this so fast.
I stole my most crappy items from other people's toilets. I know. Fucking awful. I have a really serious brain problem.
I remember that guy from from my final stream. Alright, so I think I can respawn here.
Don't suppose you have a bite to eat?
No, this is another quest?
You do.
No. Depth. Where is it? Good old. Yeah, it's that girl.
Not much of a future in being lonely, is there? I'll be around.
And now we can turn in the previous one.
be around.
How do I turn in
What
this
do you
one?
think will become of us, sir? I'll be around.
Mm, speak to Goodall in Oxford Circus Station. Ah, right, and she sends me to another quest. No, but it's complete. The mission objective is complete. And she gave me another quest.
Believe
Let
me,
me turn it
this
in.
place wasn't all that before the demons came.
So they got all of death's yours down on paper. If I am to situation, some more details.
I'll be around.
Alright, I think I need to complete placement then. Alright, that'll be the first thing we do once we go back. Once we begin the next stream. Okay. 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 Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave it here. It's been my pleasure sharing this second day of London 2038 with all of you. As always, thanks Sayona for accompanying me and providing all of those insane details about this incredible forgotten game that will continue streaming because it certainly deserved much more praise. I've stumbled upon a lot of games that certainly deserve more praise, but this one, as you can see, not only has solid gameplay mechanics, but it also has a whole community working behind it. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you watching this as a YouTube bot or a Twitch bot, probably not a Twitch bot because they are deleted after 7 days, um, this game is definitely worth checking out. The London 2038 mod, if you want my humble recommendation, play it straight away. Because the version I played, I did it, first of all, as I've said, to achieve a 100% completion. But this one will be a much more smoother and besides modern experience and balanced. So, and you can see it here, how it influenced a lot of the problems that I highlighted in my final analysis of the vanilla and modded version of the game. So yes, so far so good. I just hope I picked the right class and everything. So great, great. I am it, so far as a conclusion of today's stream. Uh, the extrinsic, as the one that I repeated twice, but I'll do so one last time. The how the balanced drop rate of the weapons, how it is perfectly tailored, so you can actually develop your character smoothly, how that influences the extrinsic core gameplay mechanics of the game, which are present, which reside in the ranged classes that the game has to offer. It's incredible how the drop rate, the most positive aspect is how the drop rate of the weapons completely changed and fixed the core gameplay mechanics of extrinsic classes, ranged classes, pretty much the marksman, the engineer that I'm playing, I presume the summoner, and the rest of them. And the evoker maybe that one was ranged as well. Well, thanks from the bottom of my heart. Thanks once again, Sayona, as always, for accompanying me. And thanks to the 13th subscriber of the YouTube channel from the bottom of my heart. Thanks in general to all of the followers of the Twitch channel, as well as all of the subscribers of the YouTube channel, for your continued support, which encourages me to continue showcasing all of these forgotten gems that certainly deserved much more praise, be it real-time strategy or FPS MMORPG games like this one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure. See you all next week. Bye bye. Have a great weekend.